Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Hearthstone's new Titans expansion is coming, and while Hearthstone is not the most reliable source of World of Warcraft lore, it does have some interesting tidbits every now and then. For example, the first time we saw an actual picture of N'Zoth that was in a Hearthstone card created by the World of Warcraft team. So now there's some interesting stuff going on with Titans expansion as well, and one of them is this particular card. It's a card of Helya, and just look at that Helya. That Helya is not at all the twisted, corrupted monstrosity that we have grown used to in World of Warcraft in the recent expansions, but it also doesn't look like a Titanic Watcher. The common assumption has been that Helya originally was a Titanic Watcher, and then Odin destroyed Helya's physical form and turned Helya into the first Valkyr. But that one doesn't look like a Titanic Watcher. It doesn't look like a Valkyr, there's no wings. It doesn't look like the corrupted Helya, so what is this Helya? The closest resemblance that this Helya bears to anything is to a Frost Vrykul, like Sif, for example, Thorim's wife. So could Helya have originally been a Frost Vrykul? What do we really know about the origins of Helya? The origins of Helya, the story, the most recent version of the story anyway, is told in Chronicle Volume 1. Helya is first mentioned when Ra calls upon her, the gifted Titan-forged sorceress Helya, to craft the elemental domains in the elemental plane together with Ra. Gifted Titan-forged sorceress. Titan-forged doesn't really tell us that much. I mean, the Keepers are Titan-forged, Titanic Watchers are Titan-forged, Vrykul are Titan-forged. Many beings are Titan-forged. They're just immediately created by Titans or created by Keepers through the Forge of Wills. However, at this stage of Warcraft history, the Forge of Wills did not yet exist. Forge of Wills had not been created, so all the Titan-forged at this stage must have been created directly by the Titans themselves. Later in the story, Odin considers Helya his adopted daughter. An adopted daughter, could a Titanic Watcher be Odin's adopted daughter? I mean, Titanic Keepers are basically Titanic Watchers, just the ones that were imbued with additional power. So, or could daughter imply that Helya was actually a lower generation of Titanforged? We know that Helya was the original, the first Valkyr. Who could be turned into a Valkyr anyway? We know from Chronicle also that Odin's studies of Shadowlands would allow him to transform some Vrykul into spectral beings known as the Valkyr. Would allow him to transform some Vrykul. Alright, so could Odin only transform Vrykul? If Odin could only transform Vrykul and Helya was transformed, then Helya should be a Vrykul, right? When we look at other Valkyr, it has been established that there are two sources of Valkyr. Odin has transformed people into Valkyr, and the Lich King has transformed people into Valkyr. And everyone that Lich King transformed into Valkyr was a Vrykul. So Lich King only transformed Vrykul. But what about Odin? There does appear to be one case of a Valkyr that was not originally Vrykul, and that would be Eir, the goddess of Valkyr. Because from the adventure journal in World of Warcraft, we can see from Helya's description. In life, Helya was a warrior without equal, defending the Valkyra from all threats. Her valor and courage drew the attention of Eir, Titan Watcher. Upon her death and ascension to the Halls of Valor, Eir has awarded Helya with her greatest honor, transformation into a Valkyr. So this describes Eir as a Titan Watcher, but Eir also clearly is a Valkyr with wings and all. So the case of Eir shows that Valkyr can also be made from Titanic Watchers, at least in this one instance, which would go very well in line with the general interpretation that Helya was originally a Titanic Watcher. However, then, what are Frost Vrykul? It really, that's a question, because Chronicles says that the iron-skinned Vrykul were created by Forge of Wills. The iron-skinned Vrykul. Are Frost Vrykul iron-skinned? We have very little information about Frost Vrykul. Is it possible that Frost Vrykul could have predated Iron Vrykul? Frost Vrykul, a separate race. Iron Vrykul could be like a Keeper-made copy of Frost Vrykul that were originally made by the Titans. I mean, yeah, this does get quite a bit in the speculative territory, but the card art now in Hearthstone calls a little bit into question what Helya originally was. However, perhaps the most simple explanation is that the card art in Hearthstone simply does not match with what actually happened in lore. On the other hand, we know that card art in Hearthstone sometimes depicts historical characters even before their appearance in World of Warcraft. So there's no 100% clear answer, but the history of Vrykul, I would really love to learn more about Vrykul. What are they exactly? We don't really know. Maybe it's an inconsistency in the lore, maybe the Vrykul actually do predate Vrykul, or maybe the card art in Hearthstone is simply misleading. What do you think? Was Helya a Vrykul or a Titanic Watcher? Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.